Hi, I'm Dr. Josie Lopez, the Curator of Art here at the Albuquerque Museum.
The Albuquerque Museum's art collection includes more than 10,000 works of art. Throughout the year, the museum features works from the permanent art and history collections, along with continuously changing special exhibitions that are on view in the museum's 7 galleries. The Albuquerque Museum also maintains a sculpture garden with over 50 artworks situated in the museum's lobby, atriums, and in the beautifully landscaped grounds that are shaped by meandering footpaths, water features, access to Old Town, and much more. While the artworks in the sculpture garden are made by a diverse and accomplished cross-section of artists, specific themes like the interconnected relationships between humans and nature, as well as historical and cultural narratives specific to New Mexico and the Southwest, are present. Many of the artists are also grappling with the artistic practice of sculpting as they explore scale, large and small, abstract versus naturalistic forms, movement, different views from different perspectives, and audience interaction and interpretation.
Let's start here on the east side of the sculpture garden. You'll find artists who are exploring large-scale sculpture.
Here you will find sculptures by artists who created large-scale works. Sebastián is in cities all over the world. His Variación Nuevo Mexico is an abstract representation of Pueblo architecture. Ali Bedoin's Skater in the Wind has elegant vertical lines that create a sense of movement. And Lincoln Fox's The Basque Sheepherder honors the cultural importance of an age-old way of life.
In Bear with Plains and Clouds, Bob Houses depicts a larger-than-life bear that is both grounded and in the sky.
The bear's large zigzag mouth extends across his face and body to his heart. Using a single sheet of still, Bob Houses layers the 3 elements of his sculpture, giving it a subtle sense of dimension. The bear is a protector and symbolizes strength and courage. He appears large and powerful, but also agitated within the matrix of the fleet of airplanes. Houses' sculpture reflects on the impacts of technology on the natural and spiritual world. Prayer is an important work by Bob Houses' father, Ellen Hauser. He is one of the most important and prolific sculptors in the United States. He reflects on culture and tradition by bringing together abstract forms and the body. Other works like Michael Orgel's Nurturance, Oliver Legrone's Mercy, and Glenna Goodacre's Park Place reflect on the importance of people and place, showing figures coming together, the cycle of life, and people taking care of one another. Several other works like Jesus Moroles's Floating Mesa and Tom Waldron's Blue Tank reflect on the landscape of New Mexico and the importance of water in our region.
Numbewague and La Jornada are not part of the Albuquerque Museum's art collection. They're actually part of Albuquerque's public art collection and were installed here on the grounds at the museum in 2004. They were part of the Cuarto Centenario project.
The title of Nora Naranjo Morse's earthwork, Numbewague, comes from the Tewa language spoken by Pueblo peoples in northern New Mexico and refers to a spiritual center place. The earthwork is comprised of a spiral path that opens to the east and is surrounded by an area planted with native flora and boulders carved by women from nearby pueblos. La Jornada is also part of the Cuarto Centenario project and includes sculptures by Betty Sabo and Sonny Rivera. The installation commemorates 400 years since the arrival of Oñate and the Spanish settlers and their families in what is now New Mexico. Oñate remains a controversial figure in New Mexico. In 1608, he was removed from power, and in 1614 was convicted for abuse of power and mistreatment of the Yakima people. The 2 artworks, Numbewague and La Jornada, invite contemplation of the history of New Mexico, the trauma and injustices that have shaped that history, and an opportunity to consider how these issues relate to each of us today.
Luis Jimenez's Progress 1 is one of the sculptures in the Albuquerque Museum collection that's actually inside of the museum rather than in the outside sculpture garden. This energetic and dramatic sculpture focuses not only on the culture of New Mexico, but also on the interactions between humans and nature.
While most of the sculpture garden is on the grounds outside of the museum, some works are presented in the lobby and atriums, including a work by Luis Jimenez. Progress 1 is a bold, energetic sculpture of an indigenous hunter on horseback. A close look reveals several hidden animals common to the Southwest. Their diverse forms create a sense of movement and drama. The work brings attention to the interconnected relationship between humans and nature. Jimenez selected fiberglass, an unorthodox material for large-scale sculpture.
John Sutman's Gate is a welcoming introduction to the West Sculpture Garden. He utilizes shape and line to create an interesting and energetic composition, even within this functional object. Charles Strong's sculpture is featured in the West Sculpture Garden. His work really challenges the way that we think about the scale of sculptures. He also challenges the idea of how we present them, as he places the figure of Cervantes directly on the ground. He also invites the viewer to look at the sculpture from different angles to get different perspectives on the work. Tony Price's sculpture, Atomic Needle, is also featured in the West Garden. Tony Price collected materials from Los Alamos in his work as he reflected on the testing of the atomic bomb and the history of atomic energy here in New Mexico. Federico Vigil's Santa Madre Tierra y su Alma is a fresco that includes both naturalistic forms and abstract lines and shapes that reflect both on nature and the cycles of nature. Thank you for joining us on this tour of the Albuquerque Museum Sculpture Garden. We hope that you'll come experience these amazing works in person. For more information, you can find us at www.cabq.gov/museum. We hope to see you soon.